series yet. Guys, let's kick this one off. Best of 7.
Yeah, it looks like XRB is going back to their bread and butter. They are going to be playing that Demonology Warlock, the Elemental Shaman, and that Restoration Druid. In the first game, we saw this matchup, and it looked like Reformed really wanted to target down Walrux, putting as much pressure onto him as possible. A little Hex over onto Relza gets dispelled quite nicely, quite quickly by Flappers. True Shot Aura has been used. Looks like Reformed's looking to get aggressive, but a nice port coming in from Walrux. He gates away. As soon as Flappers gets there, he ports away, so nicely done. But Looney's still not out of the crowd control, and a lot of bursts going out onto Walrux. Unending Resolve is forced. This could be the Healthstone as well. Looney is playing Relentless this game, which is very key for him. All CC is going to be a little bit reduced. He is playing that Incarnation as well, so he should be able to keep Walrux alive, but really struggling at this point.
Yeah, it's the same talent choices, but it's kind of the same story as well. We did hold the Healthstone though, so that is a big cooldown for Warwick. It's going to be a big KO. See the Thalkios consumption! Almost takes down. It does take down Dizio! Crazy. I thought he was going to get out of that one, but Zeepai came in with the lava burst. It's like, this game actually looked the same as the ones we saw before, but then randomly out of the blue, the Stalkios able to like walk up, they have to go through the ramp. It's going to be a little bit slower. It's still the case that like maybe Dizio wants the space to play with. It's a quite open map, so it's quite nice for the Marksman Hunter. If Warwick and Looney do end up stacking, he'll be able to get easy crowd control over onto Looney. As we can see, they're pushing in aggressively, and actually Warwick starting down as he set up his gate, so before he can even set up his portal upstairs, and he's actually going to set it up behind line of sight, so that's a very interesting choice rather than using the Z access.
And that was a good start for XRB to the moon. Full Hex on Relza. Relza getting low, so XRB actually having a more favorable opener. That is the Archangel that's going to be coming out. Looney into the full trap right now. Walrux taking a little bit of burst damage, but he manages to survive. He's just out of line of sight. Dizio getting lower and lower. Nice pressure coming in from XRB. Zeepai doing an excellent job. This is the True Shot Aura though. Flapper's opting to use that Survival Instinct as well. He just wants to turn the pressure around. Dizio getting hit quite hard once again, down to 40% HP. Pain Suppression has been connected, but Looney all in by Reformed. Can Looney survive? He needs to use potentially that Incarnation. He does, so he has the Bark Stand, he has the Incarnation, but he's still just dying through it. Iron Bark is forced out as well, but potentially too late. He's just going to be running around this pillar, trying to line of sight some of this marksmanship. Hunter damage manages to weather the storm, stay alive for now, but Reformed got everything from him.
They did get everything, yes, but they've been forced into a different strategy. They have to kill with this Incarnation. Here's the bash. They should have a DL stun to follow it up. Not quite, unfortunately. Warwick with the peels, and look at the crowd control coming out. Fear onto Flappers, Hex onto Railzar, denying that decurse, and Railzar is down to 30% mana. They've really all in here. They have to get the kill soon. Looney looking healthy. Flappers not looking healthy, down behind the pillar, 10% health. Fear onto Railzar, into the stun. Flappers falls. Well played, XRB.
Just a completely different series than the first one that we saw. All of a sudden,
in my opinion, it's just a stacked roster. That's why when they play together.
Never count out a jungle as the first rule in the NA. We're gonna have to see if Reformed can jump back in this matchup. XRB trying to be the kings of the EU.
Yeah, Reformed has to play aggressive once again. They cannot play scared. Bash over onto Looney. Zeepai taking a little bit of damage very early on. I like this opener. Very standard from jungle. Zeepai down to around 50% HP. He's going to be using that stone form as well, so that's going to remove all the initial bleeds, but still getting lower and lower. Walrux trying to counter pressure. He drops the Fell Lord. A lot of cleat pressure going out onto Reformed, but they're all relatively stable. Relza throwing out those Power Word shields. He has the Archangel up. Zeepai's Astral Shift is going to fade. Silence over onto Looney. Zeepai getting lower. He's just sitting in this room. There's a huge dog pile right now. Dalkule's consumption goes out though. Dizio getting lower and lower. He's already trinketed out offensively. Gets caught into the stun. Relza keeps him alive with the Pain Suppression, with the Rapture, so that is a lot of major defense. If you look at Relza's mana, it's already down to 40%.
Yeah, we've tried the Warlock, we've tried the Druid, now they try the Shaman. Zeepai able to survive though, despite any kiting. He didn't even stand, he just stand there, took the damage. Looney with the tree form to counter the Incarnation on. Flappers has been doing a phenomenal job throughout the series. Now we need to see the trap. What can they get done? Zeepai able to kite away though. He still hasn't used his gateway, just sitting behind the pillar on 100% health. This is looking worse and worse for Reformed. Reels are down to 20% mana. His team out of defensive cooldowns. Not long for this world.
Yeah, this is looking hopeless for Reform. They just can't find the damage. But Zeepai, you know, he's getting lower and lower. Triple Fear comes in from Relza. Very nicely done. This might be their last opportunity to win. Flappers into the stun, though. Into a Fear, into another Fear. Walrux doing everything he can to keep Zeepai alive. You can see Zeepai also just spamming out those heals. That's a full Axe Toss over onto Flappers. Full Fear onto Relza. And now Reform's in a lot of trouble. Bursting Shot on the Looney. Full Trap to follow it up. But where's Walrux? Where's Zeepai? They are kiting away. way. You can see Walrus in the room with Z5 just spamming out those heals. Flappers and Dizio get in though. Looney finally is able to reconnect. Relza might be able to find a fear at some point. I think it's still on cooldown. Walrus gets feared up. That is his unending resolve. So that is a lot of potential damage reduction, as well as that Iron Bark. Actually, he just needs to survive a little longer, and they do, finally taking down Dizio. Reformer was kind of in a situation where they had no choice but to play aggressive. They couldn't pull back. They can't reset. You have to play it out.
There's just so much utility.
The road to establishing themselves as one of these in-depth European rosters. Relzar and Dizio had a good performance last year, and they're hoping that they'll be able to pull back at least some face in this series.
Yep, this is match point. If XRB wins this game, they will be winning this tournament. Reformed needs to win in order to stay in it. Pounce over onto Walrus. It looks like he's going to be the target of choice for now. Looney, you know, not any crowd control on him. The positioning from XRB is very annoying for Reform to sort of get out that CC. Bash into trap onto Looney. Now Walrus using that unending resolves immediately, as this is Incarnation and True Shot aura. Looks like Reform wants to go all in. They want to get this pressure out. Walrus getting lower and lower. Uses the Hellstone as well. Looney throws out that Iron Bark. That should be enough to stabilize him, but Walrus still not getting topped off. Tree of Life has been used by Looney, and that is definitely enough to keep him alive, but Reform got a lot of cooldowns.
Yeah, they basically got everything once again. I think the Healthstone might still be available, but that's the last cooldown, and honestly, this is a very good game for Reformed. It's very similar to game one. They've just got to be careful that Warwick's does not global them. You can see Curse of Fragility is available right now. It's on Dizio. They have to use the aspect of the turtle, but they get the trap. They want to get aggressive. He cancels that to get aggro over onto Warwick, who is sitting behind the pillar right now. Flapper's dropping low. Z-Pi slowing him down, and they're line up sighting their healer right now. Railsa off picture, trying to get some heals desperately onto his team. Z-Pi being such a nuisance in the corner of the screen, and no CC on Looney. They should be able to stabilize, and XRB looking very strong once again.
Yeah, Flapper's all alone. He gets bashed into the clone. Reformed is looking not so good in this matchup. This positioning coming in from XRB is incredible. Flapper's getting lower and lower. Bash over onto Looney, but there's no follow-up CC. Axe toss over onto Relza. Flapper has nothing left. No trinket, no survival instincts. He's trying to kite away. He's trying to get some damage onto Walrus at the same time, but unfortunately, Walrus just ports away, and now Dizio in a position where he could go down. Hex into fear onto Relza. Dizio at 10% HP, trying to kite, trying to line of sight. Cyclone onto Relza. The lava burst connects onto Dizio, and that's it. XRB closes it out.
XRB closes it out, and they are going to be your champions.